All right, ladies and gents, Wolverine Racing here. IPS, back in the shop. So we got our brand new Goodyear belt put on there. So nice. Got a little shim work I need to do to that alternator to get it straight. Perfectly straight. It's pretty straight. I need to jet the carburetor up just a tad, I think, in the front. I got them spread apart pretty far, so I'll bump the front up. Come down here. Got the rubber bumpers set up on the traction bars so they don't make near as much noise. Now, that's not where they're going to be set. When you set the car back on the ground, they're going to move and they're going to tighten up that clearance because you want them pretty close to touching. Not as far off as those are. A little bit closer on the passenger side versus the driver, I've found works better to keep the car going straight. Of course, you know, if you want that late 70s, early 80s look, you gotta have the bandana, the red one, right? And that's what we're going for. We're going for that Camaro look that somebody might have had in high school. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to beat all the dents and scratches out of it and shine it up like a new penny. I want it to look like something somebody had in high school. Of course, I always wanted one in high school, but never could afford one. So, took the trunk lid off because it is a rust-free or basically rust-free trunk lid. But it didn't match the brown on the car. Of course, this brown back here, there was a repaint done on this back quarter and that other back quarter, and whatever they used, they didn't do good work. Paint did not adhere very well there or on the bumper. But I had this rust-free deck lid that's brown, but it's not the same color brown, so I'm just gonna put a little quick coat of some can paint that I found that matches really, really well. And we'll leave it like that for a while until I decide whether or not I'm actually gonna paint it or not. Got the fiberglass cowl induction hood almost fitted. Got a little bit more grinding to do. These lips right here, they never fit right out the box. And I find you gotta use a flat disc on a grinder, flip the hood over and, you know, knock these down. I've still got a ways to go on it. I just take a little at a time. And then you got to knock this down, especially if you're going to run wipers. If you're going to run windshield wipers, you really got to cut this down to get them to be able to come up and down through there. So it's almost there. Still got more to take out, and then I got to straighten it up and do the body work to it, prep it, and lay down a little paint on it. I got the code for this color, and I'll go to Mike and Jerry's and get some mixed up, throw it on there. This should be a pretty close match. Had to move the fuel pressure gauge because it was hitting underneath the cowl hood. I thought I had it cleared enough, but not quite. Needed about 3 or 4 more inches over. So the deck lid's outside. And we're gonna sand this out, bondo up what I gotta bondo up, and sand it out again. Put a couple of coats of primer on it, sand it out, and then I'll throw some brown out of a can out of it. And that brown out of a can actually looks really, really close. You can see it right here. You can see the change in the color, and that is pretty close to what's. That is pretty close to what's on the car now. That shade is right there, this part. So I'm gonna shoot it with a can, put it back on there. It'll be good enough for now. I've actually did whole front urethane noses right here in this yard, and man, they come out beautiful. Front nose on a Wolverine, I shot right there. Not a problem with it. Anybody that's ever done one of these noses on these cars knows how much, yeah, pun intended, right? How much sanding you need to do to get these things right. I mean, 60 hours to do one of these is the norm, especially if you've got areas that have to be filled, or sections that cuts, splits in them. They can be repaired. There's a plastic welder out there that works really well on these things. A lot of people say you can't fix them. I've fixed a bunch of them. So that's where we are tonight. Getting the IPS ready. Transmission's just drained the fluid out of it. It'll be out the car tomorrow and on its way up to Wayne Henry to get some new clutches put in it and new seals, and I'm sure he'll fix me all up, get me back rolling. And then I'm hoping to get up to Gulfport or somewhere to test pretty soon. Not so much test IPS, but test Wolverine. May get IPS up there too, but I can test that pretty much anywhere. You get a new door handle too. I don't like that one. Need to make some small improvements. This thing rattled like crazy, got it tightened up. Do have an issue with this window though. The felt guides in there are worn out, and when you're going down the road, this thing rattles like crazy. So need to fix that. I think I do have some of those window felts somewhere. Everything else is looking pretty good right now. All right, y'all have a good night. Wolverine out.